We will become the 21st state to enact extreme risk protection orders.
Gretchen Whitmer? Heck yeah, she's our friend. I mean, look at that face right there. She's not trying to overpower and tyrannically dominate us. She's instituting red flag laws for our safety. Sure, with these laws, we could virtually lose all of our rights at any moment in time. But that's just a minor detail. Tyrannical servitude is sometimes the price you gotta pay for freedom.
Today, Governor Gretchen Whitmer signing red flag legislation into law in Royal Oak. It's the final piece of a three-pronged gun safety reform package backed by Democrats. Last month, Whitmer signed into law safe storage and universal background check bills.
Flanked by men with guns, including the Michigan Police Department, who've proven themselves to be a clear and present danger to themselves and others, gun-grabbing Chinese operative Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Gabby gonna trample your rights no matter what Gifford, Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel, and a gaggle of other Constitution trampling clowns just signed red flag orders into law. So they've become the 21st state in the United States to raise their middle finger at all innocent gun owners, saying, screw the Constitution, we don't care about your rights, and we don't care about your life. We're gonna take your guns no matter what. These gun grabbers, like all tyrants, use the justification, we gotta stop the senseless gun violence that's killing people in our communities. And the best way to do that is to strip all gun owners of their rights through pre-crime extreme risk protection orders. Of course, none of these laws are gonna apply to the lawmakers themselves, because they retain the right to a heavily armed security detail. And that must feel pretty darn good. Imagine how carefree you would be in utilizing the immoral order-following law enforcement class to break into houses and take guns from others while being surrounded by heavily armed agents of the state. Why, you'd feel almost invincible. And just so we're clear about what red flags are in reality, this law makes you a sitting duck 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. At any time, anybody could call, even anonymously, saying they believe, not know, and not have evidence that you're a danger to yourself or to others. Once authorities get that call, they're bound by this law to come to your house, even kick in your door and violate your Fourth Amendment right to be secure in your home, take your guns, and even have you psychologically evaluated to prove your mental fitness to own a gun. This puts law enforcement lives at risk, and it puts your life at risk. Here are some of the people specifically listed to be able to remove your freedoms and put your life in jeopardy. The spouse of a defendant, someone who is dating or has dated the defendant. Let's say your ex is pissed about you for something. Well, guess what? Tyranny is just a phone call away. A crazy family member can narc on you. An order-following law enforcer and a mentally deranged, pharmaceutically motivated mental health professional. What could possibly go wrong? And it's legitimate because it's all in the name of freedom and safety. You do want children to be safe, don't you? Well, Gretchen has the answer. And don't question it. An ABC reporter asked this knucklehead who thinks these laws are the bee's knees to stop and consider just how open-ended and dangerous these red flag laws could potentially be.
When you look at this list, do you ever think, though, what if you were dating someone and they had a beef with you? You know what I mean? And they said, you know what, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to call and get him in trouble. Should that be of concern at all?
I think that there's always going to be some malfeasance in these kinds of things, but the overall good that it would do for the population, I think it's warranted.
And that, my friends, is how you bow down and lick the boots of your oppressors. Go ahead, buddy. Lick some more leather. Red flag laws literally violate all your rights in one fell swoop. And just as a reminder, the first red flag law enforced in Maryland in 2018 at 5:17 in the morning, if you can believe that nonsense, ended in the death of an innocent gun owner named Gary J. Willis by the armed and dangerous order-following agents of the Anne Arundel County Police Department. Some cops are saying, screw that. Red flag laws are unconstitutional and me and my men ain't gonna enforce them. Like this Livingston County sheriff right here.
Ink wasn't even dry on the newly adopted red flag law adopted in the Senate this week when the Livingston County sheriff thumbed his nose at it, saying he would not enforce it.
And how did the Democrat state attorney general respond to this? With a threat.
And for those who are in law enforcement who refuse to enforce these important orders, let me say this loudly and clearly. I will make certain that I find someone with jurisdiction who will enforce these orders.
And of course, all the lemmings applaud the erosion of more of their own rights as they celebrate the accumulation of state power. So you might be asking yourself, what exactly is Dana here threatening these anti-red flag law sheriffs with? Certainly someone she thinks has far more firepower than them. Who are you thinking about, Dana? Maybe the feds? Maybe the military? The reality is that the Attorney General just threatened an elected official with state-sponsored gun violence as she hypocritically stands there claiming to uphold a new law that's supposed to limit gun violence. There's no end to their hypocrisy. And what I found interesting was under this video, a Florida resident writes, "Just know once this law goes into effect, it will be abused. Here in Florida, over 10,000 have been issued in the last 4 years, and they are impossible to fight and can lead to felonies if you get pulled over with a gun in your car, even if it's not yours. The highest per capita RPO issuance happens in rural conservative counties. Ironically, Miami-Dade County issues the least amount of RPOs in the state. I live in Palm Beach County, and firearms are seized multiple times a day under this law. It sucks living here. They took guns from a lot of my friends who did nothing wrong." See, once the powerful gain more power, and that's what red flags are, a transfer of power from Americans to tyrannical state functionaries, they rarely concede that power. And we keep hearing this tired mantra that these tyrannical policies are overwhelmingly supported even by gun owners.
This in combination with the secure storage, which I signed about a month ago, as well as background checks. These are policies that are overwhelmingly supported by Michiganders, overwhelmingly supported by gun owners.
Overwhelmingly supported by gun owners.
Okay, that was real freaky. Kind of like, you don't have any children in the house, do you?
These are policies that are overwhelmingly supported by Michiganders, overwhelmingly supported by gun owners.
First, I see no indication of this at all. And second, our rights are unalienable. They're not subject to be taken away simply because we're outnumbered by an ignorant class of people who want to quietly load themselves into the boxcars in the still of the night. So what do you think about red flag laws? Are they uniquely American or are they uniquely communist? Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comments section below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you want to support the channel, grab a hard-hitting conversation-starting design you can get from the store. You can put it on a shirt, hoodie, mug, cell phone case, whatever you want. I will see you in the next video.